Alright, hello everyone, this is Spawnbroker, and I am bringing you another pub match coming from Dota 2, and this is going to be a low skill game, just like the last one, and my goal here is just going to be to try and point out what I believe is the mistakes that are going on both sides, things are doing good, things are doing badly, things they need to improve on, general tips so that people can learn the game better. So let's go ahead and get started.
Prepare for
So
battle.
first we've got, on the Dire side, we've got DMN on Kunkka, we've got Death on Pugna. On Ursa, we have Pa Welucius. Don't know how to say that. Here we've got Elegant Ninny on Drow Ranger. And then on Bane, we have Denisli. Looks like they grabbed a courier, that's good. Now on the Radiant side, we have Pawner on the Templar Assassin. On Phantom Lancer, we have Grey One. Dr. Leg is playing Tidehunter, and Wayfarer, probably should be Wayfarer, but whatever, is on Dragon Knight. And looks like the last person hasn't picked yet. Oh, he just got a Bloodseeker, so that's Dr. Dram on Bloodseeker. So it looks like two of these people have queued together. Okay, so let's talk about decisions. First off, both teams bought a courier, which they have awesome Stumpy right here, that's great. And then Dire got a courier as well, so we're off to a good start. So now let's look at lane composition. We've got Tide and Phantom Lancer in the bottom lane for Radiant. That's okay. They might do a tri-lane here, which, with a Bloodseeker, I would not recommend. Templar Assassin going mid, that's fine. Dragon Knight going top solo.
The battle begins.
Yeah, this is kind of problematic because they're going to have double melee no matter what, and this tri-lane isn't good enough to be a kill lane. So I have to think this isn't going to work out very well. So moving on to items. Quelling Blade with some regen and some branches on the Bloodseeker, that is all fine. His skill build is fine, his items are fine, that's great. Phantom Lancer, he gets Spirit Lance at level 1. That's okay. And then he's got Ring of Basilius and some regen. I don't know if I like grabbing the Ring of Basilius first, but I'd rather have some stats. Just grab a Ring of Protection and grab some agility items, maybe some branches, and you'll be fine with that. Now, it looks like Tidehunter is going to be pulling this lane. So what he's going to be doing is he's going to be pulling these creeps. For those that don't know how to do this, he's going to be pulling these creeps either this way or down to the lane, which is what it looks like he's doing right now. Now, this makes the creeps, it makes your lane creeps aggro onto the neutrals, and then they will start fighting. And you can get experience and gold without actually being in the lane and taking it away from your other heroes this way. The problem with doing this as a single pull, which is what he just did, is this will now push the lane. So yes, one of the creeps just died, but now take a look at what's going to happen with this Centaur Khan. It's going to die, and then all of his creeps are going to move back into the lane, and there's another set of creeps right here. So now you have two waves worth of creeps pushing against the one wave from the Dire. So that means that this is going to end up badly for the Radiant team. Oh, it looks like we haven't engaged, so it looks like Pugna got caught out, and he is... Oh wow, very nice torrent from the Kunkka. Unfortunately, Pugna was not able to get away. So that was very good by the Radiant. But as you can see, what I was talking about, the Radiant creeps are now pushing down toward the Dire Tower because there's so many of them. So that's the problem you have with doing a single pull, which is what Tide did. So now it respawned at the 2-minute mark. What Tide really should be doing is he should be doing a double pull, which is where he takes these creeps at the 53-second mark and he pulls them this way. He can also pull into the lane like he did before, and it will do the same thing. But you take it at the 53-second mark, and you pull the creeps away from their camp. At the minute mark, the game will check to see if the creeps are there, and then it will respawn the camp. So you'll have two camps worth of creeps here, and then you can pull them into the lane. And those creeps will kill your melee and range creeps. So I've talked enough about that. Let's move on to other lanes and what's going on. So let's move to the middle. Looks like Templar Assassin is doing pretty good against the Drow Ranger. Not a surprise there. Drow, let's look at her items. She got double slippers and some regen. I don't like this very much. It looks like she's either going for a fast bottle or some sort of weird fast build, because this isn't enough for her entire initial starting gold. I'd like to see more stats here. Yes, the agility is very nice from the double slippers, but you know, some branches anything to help her, lane better against this TA. So I'm not a huge fan. The skill build is fine. I'd rather see a point of silence at 4 instead of this frost arrow, this 2 points in frost arrows. But it's arguable you can put the 2 points in before the point of silence. Templar Assassin. Oh boy, Quelling Blade on Templar Assassin. That is
bottom tower is under
not the
attack.
best idea, because I'm fairly certain that Templar Assassin doesn't get the bonus from this. I could be wrong, but I don't think she does. And anyways, it's not even a great item on Templar Assassin anyways, even if she did, because Refraction gives her bonus damage.
Dire's bottom
You get
tower
bonus
is
damage
under
for
attack.
5 attacks from Refraction. So why would you need a Quelling Blade to help your last hitting? It makes no sense. So that's, I think, a waste of gold on the
Dire's
TA.
middle tower
How's
is
Dragon
under
Knight doing up
attack.
top? So he's getting... Okay, so
Dire's structures
first
are
off, he got a Ring of
fortified.
Protection and a Ring of Regen. This is terrible. The Ring of Protection is fine, but the Ring of Regen is not enough regen to keep him in lane if this Bane was doing his job well, or if they were doing a good job
Dire's
top.
bottom tower
They should
has
be
been denied.
having a field
Dire's
day with
middle
this
tower
Dragon
is
Knight
under
right now,
attack.
just because he has no burst regen in his items. He also has no stats, which is going to be problematic when he tries to last hit. So, yeah, that's a
Dire's
problem.
middle tower is under
The
attack.
Ring of Protection is fine for the Basilius, but yeah, let's talk about his skill build now. He's maxing Dragon Blood first, which is just terrible. Like, this is just a really bad decision. Fire Breath is a really good nuke. You max that first because it does 300 damage at max
Radiant's
level
bottom tower
with a
is
12-second
under
cooldown.
attack.
That's really good. Yes, it costs quite a bit of mana, but what are you going to spend your mana on? A stun in a solo lane? No. You want... Okay, and now he pops his dragon form to do nothing with it. So that's... Yeah, I'm just going to say whatever. Alright. So Ursa's skill build looks okay. His items, it looks like he either went Boots first, or maybe he went Stout Shield, Branch, Regen, Tango. That's arguable, but it's not as bad as some of the other things I've seen, so I'm going to move on. Bane's initial item build looks good, and he already has Boots. That's nice. So how's the tri-lane doing down here? So it looks like Bloodseeker's been getting harassed down a bit, but it looks like they have been getting some kills. So let's look at the kills, deaths, and assists. Yep, it looks like it's been split up evenly between them, and they've been feasting on Pugna. So it looks like Pugna is not going to have a very good game. And they've already taken down the first tower, so I missed a bit of action there talking about the other things on the map. I'm sorry about that. So it looks like Kunkka is going to be going Urn first. That's fine. That's a good item for Kunkka. And Pugna has nothing. So I believe Pugna went Boots first or something. So that's not good. So Tide is gonna do his same old, screwing up the lane for the rest of his team. That's always fun. Good job, Tide. Bloodseeker is about to die. Nope. He looks like he gets away in time. Maybe if the torrent had come down immediately after, they would have been able to grab him, but I'm not sure.
Dire's
So,
middle tower is under
here,
attack.
this is something I like to rail on. Bloodseeker got the Gloves of Haste for his power treads first. Do not do this, guys. Grab the stats first. 15% attack speed doesn't
Dire's
mean
middle
anything when you
tower
can't
has
last
fallen.
hit for shit. So it doesn't matter. Like, he just has... I mean, yeah, he has a Quelling Blade, but he really wants stats. He really wants agility or strength or just something other than attack speed. Because when is he going to be sitting there wailing on someone to gain benefit from that attack speed before he gets his power treads? He's not going to be doing that. Looks like Phantom Lancer switched top. He's got a Ring of Aquila. That's great. That's a fine item for a fine early item for Phantom Lancer.
Invisibility.
Looks like Dragon Knight is saving his gold for no reason. Good job, Dragon Knight. Keep it up. Templar Assassin is coming in for a gank. Looks like they started already in the top lane. Looks like Dragon Knight is stunned. He's gonna fall here. Oh no, he manages to get away. And Templar Assassin comes in to clean it all up. And it looks like Ursa is going to be just fine. So good gank by Templar Assassin. Unfortunately, the Dragon Knight almost screwed it up by just about dying. And, he wasn't able to contribute in that fight at all because he didn't have Breathe Fire. Yes, he has a point in Dragon Tail, a point or two in Dragon Tail, but what is regen and armor going to do for you in a team fight that Breathe Fire doesn't? Breathe Fire is so good in team fights. So it looks like they're diving a bit on the Ursa. They did a good job there. It looks like Templar Assassin in a bit of trouble. unfortunately, Enfeeble doesn't really do anything, so, because he's running. So I think that was wasted by the Bane here.
Is under attack.
Bane's skill build is fine. It's arguable that he doesn't need to have the Enfeeble. He could just, pump it into Nightmare for increased duration. But, that's fine. I think he just doesn't know how to use Bane very well. So I'm going to let that slide. So, looks like on bottom there's a bit of a chase going on, and Bloodseeker unfortunately turns around. And so does Tidehunter, and they both just really like death, apparently. They don't want to live. Almost hit him with the Torrent. That was a good job by Kunkka, but unfortunate. Okay, so looks like Radiant is leading in kills, but they're... Okay, let me just get rid of that. Okay. Radiant is leading in kills. Dire just hasn't been able to pull out anything in these fights. I think they're just a little bit more disorganized. And Ursa popping a salve right there. He's got a Ring of Basilius. That's fine. Don't see anything wrong with that. And now Radiant is going to get this top tower for free because there are 3 people just hanging out on bottom for the Dire. And do any of them have teleport scrolls? Nope. At the very least, the Drow Ranger should have a teleport scroll right now because she is high enough level and has enough farm to be able to influence these fights in a positive way. So now she's coming in for a gank on 3 heroes, which I don't think is going to work out very well for her. Let's see how that goes. Up on top, they're chasing Dragon Knight. Looks like, Bane sleeps him. Good job, Bane. And Ursa does not know how Bane works. So that's unfortunate. If only Ursa had just waited and done Earthshock after Dragon Knight was out of sleep, it would have been fine. But now they missed a kill because of that. So thumbs up, Ursa. Keep it going. Oh, Bane taking a bit of damage here. Gotta run. Okay, there we go. I like that ball and chain that Tide is just dragging around. That's really cool. Okay, so
double damage.
Now it looks like Drow Ranger is farming. Pugna is level 4, and he's hanging out with Drow Ranger, stealing his experience and apparently trying to steal his farm. And now they're both gonna die to Templar Assassin with a double damage. That's pretty rough. I don't know what they could have done there to do anything different. Maybe Pugna could have decrept. Who knows? Looks like they might try a little dive here. Templar Assassin going really aggressive. Pop your refraction. There you go. Good job, Templar Assassin. Just took half her health for no reason. Awesome. Bloodseeker finally has his ultimate, but he doesn't have any farm. He has 1 kill, and it just, he's not going to be very effective now in the mid game because he didn't go mid, he didn't have a solo, and he was in a tri-lane, and he wasn't getting a whole heck of a lot of farm. So that's problematic for the Bloodseeker. Looks like Radiant is trying to bait out a team fight here, and they might be able to just get what they want. Looks like Drow is in a bit of trouble. Yeah, Drow's gonna fall here. Oh wow, nice turnaround. Unfortunately, the boat missed the important targets, and yeah, so that was a 1-for-1 trade. I really think this TA needs to get out of here. She doesn't need to be diving this low. Wow. And wow, that she manages to get away with just barely enough health. And now looks like Dragon Knight's in a bit of trouble. See, this is they just need to go back to base. Like, there's no reason to have this low health and not be going back to base. Like, you shouldn't be pushing with this. Looks like Lanaya is getting a Desolator first. That's okay. I would much rather actually like to see a Blink Dagger on Lanaya first instead of the Desolator, because this is a hero that thrives on positioning, and she really needs to be in melee range. Same problem that Ursa has. Where's Ursa at? Ursa is not doing too hot this game. It's the same problem that Ursa has. He's getting phase boots. That's fantastic. He needs a Blink Dagger next. He needs to save up and get a Blink Dagger for the same reason that Templar Assassin does, because he needs to be in melee range. And the best way to do that is to get a Blink Dagger. So it's the same problem that heroes like Slardar have, stuff like that. So I really think Lanaya needs to get a Blink Dagger before her Desolator, but other than that, I think she's been doing fine. Boy, what is it with people in loving getting Gloves of Haste first instead of the stat item? It makes no sense. Pugna just on
Radiant's
boots with
bottom
1,000
tower is
gold.
under attack.
Spend your gold, dude. You could die and lose some of that gold. Why would you just not spend it? And now Drow is fighting neutral creeps, trying to pull it into the lane so they can get an easy tower here. And Bloodseeker ults the Drow, very nice. I think the silence was a bit wasted because now Drow has increased damage. Very nice boat. Unfortunately, it was a bit off. And Tide is going to fall here to Bane's ultimate. Nice ultimate by Bane.
Radiant's bottom tower
Yeah, that
is
boat
under
was a
attack.
bit far. So yeah, I mean if I were the Dire right now, I would be pushing this lane. There's no reason to be fighting these creeps outside the lane. Just pull them into the lane and then nuke them all down and push the tower. It's almost dead. Looks like Ursa is trying to farm up. 750, that's okay. Bane got Arcane Boots. Great. I like this choice. You very rarely see Arcane Boots in low-skilled games, so it's nice to see them here. Definitely a Desolator on Lanaya, so... Oh well. See, the problem that Lanaya is going to have is she's going to get her Desolator, and then she's going to find out, oh, I can't actually hit anybody. Because she needs to meld in order to do her burst damage, and she can't really meld if everyone's running away from her and kiting her like, you know, teams with Drow tend to do. Because, look.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oh man. Yep. Good job, Lanaya. You really pulled off a lot there. See, Drow can just kite Lanaya all day. Oh, until Lanaya does that. So, hey, there you go. Bane's going to take the fall here. Good job. And Tide ultimate. And looks like Drow's going to fall, and Kunkka is going to take the fall as well. So, very good on Lanaya. She's managed to do well in team fights, even without a blink. That's good. Usually you want Lanaya to have a blink because she wants to be the initiator. She wants to burst down a squishy before anybody else can really react. But it looks like they're not having that problem this game. So that looks like Radiant is doing a real nice job. They're going to get this tower. Ursa's going to try and come in here, and he's getting a mask. I'm not real sure what Ursa's trying to build here. Mask of Madness isn't good on Ursa at all because he already has an attack steroid, so no reason to get it. And then Helm of the Dominator doesn't really work on him either because why would you just get a Helm of the Dominator? Why not just get a Vlad's? Maybe he's building a Vlad's. That's fine. If you're building the Vlad's, I would probably, though...
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, he's getting a Vlad's. That's fine. He really wants to do an early Roshan, so that's okay. That was just me having a brain fart on what it took to build Vlad's, so that was my mistake. Arcane Boots on Pugna, good. And finally, we have the first Town Portal Scroll of the game on the Dire, so that's fantastic. Good job, Dire. Does anybody else have a Town Portal Scroll? No. No. Oh, no. Okay, so now they finally have a Vlad's on Ursa, and they're all going to go and do Roshan. And unfortunately, the Radiant has no real wards, but they have a Lanaya ward, so they are going to spot this out. And that's good. Let's see how fast it takes them to react to this. So... yeah, by the way, the reason why you need Town Portal Scrolls is because you need to be able to port in to help your team if there's ever being a tower push or something, because you spend a lot of time farming in Dota, and if you're farming elsewhere on the map, you need to be able to port in quickly and stop the
Roshan has fallen to the
and stop the push. So looks like that was a successful Roshan, and looks like Radiant is a bit late, but they're going to initiate anyways. And here comes the Tide ultimate, but he gets silenced by the Drow. That's very nice. And he might die before the silence runs out, and he does. Wow. So this is a huge win on the Dire side. And Ursa probably isn't even going to have to use his Aegis. At this point, on Dragon Knight, I would just turn around and right-click on Ursa to try and pop the Aegis.
Dragon Knight
You squander a great gift.
Fantastic job on Ursa, killing the Dragon Knight. And yeah, if I were in Dragon Knight's position there, he's not getting away. There's a drow, there's all sorts of slows and stuns. I would just turn around and right-click the Ursa. Looks like Phantom Lancer trying to do something, but I don't think there's going to be much he can do. He's not very farmed up, so that's a problem. And we see Kunkka farming the top lane. That's fine. There's no real push going on. This is something that most players tend not to do. They tend to get tunnel vision and be like, oh, I need to push all the time. But sometimes you just want to farm. So that's good on Kunkka. Looks like Lanaya is coming to the bottom lane to farm this, and she's going to go for a Crystallis next. I'm not a huge fan of the, Desolator into Crystallis. I really would like I said, would like to see a Blink Dagger. It really makes you just that much more effective at initiating, at chasing, at, being where you need to be in the fight. Even though Refraction doesn't stop the Blink from triggering, it is still a big deal. Lets you initiate very well, lets you escape, lets you chase, Dragon Knight finally maxing Breathe Fire, probably because he has nothing else to put points into, so alright. Tidehunter got an Urn, some Arcane Boots, and double Bracer. I don't really like the double Bracer here. I think if you want to be more tanky, get one Bracer, and then turn that Bracer into a Drum. So let's look at Drum of Endurance. Drum of Endurance is one of the most stat-efficient items for the cost in the game. It gives you 9 to all attributes and plus 9 damage. So it looks like there's going to be a kill on this Drow Ranger, so that's good on... Very good on the Radiant, and now they can probably turn this into a push on either the top or the bottom lanes. I would definitely not push mid at this point because they have to go up this hill, and it's very hard to push into the base, and you should probably just take down the towers that are easier to take. So I would probably transition that into a top push, which is what it looks like they're trying to do. Everyone on Dire just hanging out in the secret shop area for no reason.
Dire's structures are fortified.
And wasting a fortification. Little bit of trash talking coming out from the Drow on the losing team.
Top tower is under attack.
And this tower is going to fall pretty much without incident. Well, looks like they're coming in to stop it. It's a bit late though.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
And Pugna's going to get caught out. Little late on the ward there, Lanaya. Oh well. Bloodseeker is up. Oh wow. Okay, so good Tide ultimate. Boat coming in. Misses everyone.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Looks like Lanaya is just going to clean fools up now. Or not. And nobody has... Oh, that was really close. She should have just come out of Meld there and... Yep. Exactly. And that's why Lanaya is awesome. So now Ursa's in a lot of trouble. If only I had a stun. If only there was an ability that I had that could make him stop moving. Ugh, I wish I had something like that. Okay, so let me talk about this Bloodseeker's build first off. Force Staff is... The only time I ever see people get Force Staff is when they're absolutely dominating the game and they want to troll. It's a troll item pick. It's not that effective. You can, every 20 seconds, you can use this on your ultimate. And, yeah, I mean, it's good for escaping, but it only gives you 10 damage and 10 attack speed. The 10 intelligence is wasted. It's not a good item on Bloodseeker. You would much rather have just any sort of agility items that would be, much better. Get a Yasha, for crying out loud, anything. I'm not a fan of Force Staff on Bloodseeker. I think it's terrible. So I've stopped harping on that. So looks like there's a Helm of the Dominator on Dragon Knight, finally. Tranquil Boots. This is at best. Definitely not a great choice on Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight kind of just wants to be in there auto-attacking. You really just want Power Treads on Dragon Knight. There's not really any other choices. Maybe Arcane Boots if you're doing like a supporty, like tri-laney Dragon Knight, but if you're tri-laning with Dragon Knight, you're going to be getting the farm anyways. So I don't really know about the Tranquil Boots. I don't like it very much. Looks like Lanaya is going to find Drow Ranger, and she might go on this. Unfortunately, Drow's team is here, but Lanaya should probably just be able to kill everything and get out. Dragon Knight doing a nice stun, and the boat is going to completely whiff. Awesome. And Kunkka, unfortunately, still running after the ultimate. See, this is the problem. Lanaya puts down her ward, and she can't get there. It's lucky that her team was there, but she put down her ward, and then she couldn't make it there quite in time. If she had a blink dagger, she'd be able to get there immediately.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Diffusal up on Phantom Lancer. That's okay. Once again, I'd really like to see a drum. I'd love to see a mech or a pipe coming out from the from anyone on the team. Like Tide could be building a mech or a pipe. Unfortunately, they have Team 5 carries, except for Tide. They have Team 4 carries, so that's not really going to work out too well for them. Nobody's going to really be building support items, but it's going to work out for them anyways. So it looks like this is going to be at least one Rax for the Radiant team.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
Kunkka trying to make some magic happen.
Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
Sorry, Kunkka. And looks like the Dire has given up, except for Drow.
Dire's middle tower is under
and Kunkka.
attack.
One man. Alone. Dynamic duo right here, guys. They're going to come back from this. And now the Radiant is continuing to push. I'd say that's a good decision. They've got such a huge advantage at this point that there's really, it's really all over but the crying now. So they're just kind of just face tanking the tower. That's good. One thing that Phantom Lancer could have done there is if the tower is focusing you, you can always attack click a friendly creep. Like just, you know, any one of your creeps, you can attack them like if you were denying them. Act like you're denying one of your full health creeps, and the tower will ignore you. That's part of the tower logic. Very nice boat from Kunkka. Unfortunately, he's dead, and he can't take advantage of that. So, like I was saying, if the tower is focusing you, you don't have to run out of range. Attack one of your creeps, or attack one of the other heroes. The tower will stop focusing you. It's built into the logic of the towers, and that's a good way to get tower aggro off of you, and so you don't have to run out of the way. Another thing that I'm seeing that's a mistake is they're all focusing the ranged barracks. The melee barracks is always on the right, so always focus the melee barracks first, because there are 3 melees in every wave, and only 1 range, or 4 melees in every range, and only 4 melees in every wave, and only 1 range creep. So hitting the melee racks, getting the melee racks down, will be more beneficial to your team than the ranged racks. That's why you always see pro teams focusing down the melee racks first. Lanaya's had enough of this game. She just wants it over, while the rest of their team goes to start fountain farming. Classy.
Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's middle tower.
Let's see if there's any other items. Blade Mail on Lanaya. I'm not a fan. I don't like Blade Mail at all. On agility carries, it's just not. It's not an effective item.
Dire's middle tower is under
Poor
attack.
Drow got no farm this game. And everyone on the Radiant seems to have gotten bored with the whole winning the game thing, and they've just gone to do other things. Crystallis, that's okay. If you're winning, that's fine. How's Bloodseeker doing? Got a Sacred Relic, he's going to build a Radiant. This I agree with.
My vows if I must.
I definitely agree with this item choice.
Excuse
me. I definitely agree with this item choice.
Haste.
Lanaya with Boots of Travel. Boy, how fed can you get? And now they're just going to right-click it. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this game. Please leave comments and let me know what I can do differently to, you know, my main goal with this series is to make people understand the basics of the game, and me pointing out what people are doing right and wrong so that, you know, you can more easily jump into Dota 2. That's my main purpose with this series. And let me know what you think and what else you want to see, and I will definitely take that into consideration. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.